We're in historic St. Mary's City. We're actually in the town center with the field director and head of programs, Doug Horhota. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's talk a little bit about where we are. We're going to talk about some of the wonderful things that people can experience when they come to historic St. Mary's City. But if you would, can you kind of set the backdrop of what kind of a city this was in its heyday?
Sure. Well, this is the first capital of Maryland. This place is laid out in the 1660s. The colony was established in the 1630s, but the capital was officially laid out in the 1660s. And this is a government town. This is a place where the government's going to come, do their activities, court sessions, legislative sessions, all those kind of things, and that's why we're here. That's what the purpose of having a capital city is.
Okay, and that talks, the reason we talk about that, so you can really kind of set in your mind what people can experience, what life was like in the heyday, and then when people come to visit historic St. Mary's City, what are some of the activities that take place?
Well, keep in mind what's going to happen when you're traveling to a town. I mean, if you go to a convention right now, think of a convention town like Las Vegas or New Orleans. What are kind of the activities that you're going to be talking about? A lot of socializing, a lot of drinking, a lot of carousing, a lot of games, a lot of sports.
Right.
You go to New Orleans to watch the Sugar Bowl. You go to Las Vegas to, sit out in the sun. And it's the same kind of thing here. And that's what we do here, except we're showing it in the 17th century, not showing the 21st century.
Now, I've heard this area referred to as a living museum because you don't just come, keep your hands to yourself, no flash photography, and really just kind of behave. This is a place where people can really experience all of the history that Maryland has.
And that's something we're still learning about. I mean, we have a print house here in which we're still doing the techniques that they did. But if they don't write it down, how do we know? So by learning those things, we get to experience what they might have gone through. And what we also want is we want the visitors to come here to learn themselves. We want them to try the activities, try the different games, try the printing press, see what it was like, work with maybe moving some water, carrying a couple of bales around or buckets, and what was it like? Because that's the only way we're really going to know what they experienced, because you don't write down those mundane things that you do on a daily basis.
Right, you just do them.
You just do them. So what was their life like? You come and find out, because we're still trying to figure it out too.
Absolutely. What do you think people are most surprised about when they come to the town center and they look around and they start being a part of it? What do you think they're most surprised about?
I think they're most surprised that this is really where it happened. You come here and you just see these ghost frames and you see these buildings and you don't quite put two and two together, because you talk about some places, some other museums, like Plymouth, for instance, which is not on the original site. We are on the original site. We're still doing archaeology here. And we're still learning more about what we do here, all based on the archaeology. So
and it's very hands-on, and people can come and try some of the games from the old days. Talk a little bit about the games, because you said when people come to town, they were looking for recreation, something to do. What are some of the games?
Name a game today.
Baseball.
They had a version of it. We have a version of it right behind us over there. People can come here. It's called trap ball. There's another game called stool ball. It's also known as town ball. Probably one of the most popular games in the 1800s. 1600s hasn't quite caught on yet, but it will.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. It's nice that you know your eras of history so you can really put it in perspective for people. Now, you develop the programs here at St. Mary's City. Do those ebb and flow based on the information that you are learning every year with the digs and so forth?
Constantly. One of the things we've done here in my tenure that I've been here in the last 5 years is do more in the way of games, because we've possibly found an archaeological evidence of a gaming pit. So they might
gambling?
No, not gambling.
Okay, gaming pit. Okay.
Gaming pit for rooster fighting.
Oh my goodness.
So we're not sure. We're still working on the details, but understanding that this is a possibility.
Okay.
All of a sudden puts us in a new frame of mind that maybe we need to do more in the way of activities and sports and recreation, which maybe in the past wasn't concentrated on as much. So yes, we're always learning more of those things.
And that's the really great thing about what you can experience at historic St. Mary's City is it's history that's alive. It's changing every year with all of the new information that they're finding and the new archaeological information and digs and so forth. Well, Doug, it's always a pleasure talking with you.
Same here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. A wonderful place to visit. Historic St. Mary's City.